Hey everyone! So I wanted to do a NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 review and a SummerSlam review because both shows definitely deserve to be reviewed. I did go to SummerSlam. Unfortunately, I did not go to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, and I'm totally regretting it. I've learned my lesson after 3 years, but the show was so fucking good. So obviously, TakeOver happened on Saturday. I will review that first, of course, and then I will get into SummerSlam, and then I will explain what happened after SummerSlam and how it has affected me now, in a good way, of course. So if you guys aren't already subscribed, please subscribe to me and follow me on Twitter at Elena Tweets. So NXT TakeOver kicked off with Andrade Cien Almas with Zelina Vega versus Johnny Gargano. Called it. Honestly, one of matches of the night. One of. It was so fucking good. You guys, Andrade Cien Almas did win here, and I did call that on Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter. Literally, he's ready for the main roster. The dude's a beast. He's so amazing. And Johnny Gargano, he's fucking amazing too. It's, you know, when you have two amazing talents going at it with each other, how could you not love it? You know what I mean? Like, it was so good. I honestly think that with this next round of call-ups, I think Andrade with Zelina Vega is ready to be called up. I mean, why would you keep him in NXT when he could really flourish on the main roster? I see him as a much better Miz. Like Miz and Maurice, I see him as much better. Yeah, not the best talker, but his in-ring work, oh my gosh, it is so good. So good. I think he's ready. I really do. Hopefully, he will be on the main roster very, very soon. The next match is Aleister Black versus Hideo Itami. Now, I knew instantly that Aleister was going to win, but it definitely cemented my thought of him winning when he had that special entrance. You know, NXT is making a huge deal out of Aleister, and rightfully so. He's incredible. I think he's going to be a huge star in NXT in the next 6 months. I think he will be facing Drew McIntyre eventually, and that's where they're kind of promoting him to be in that, like, main event picture. So he had a really good match with Hideo Itami. It was the weakest match on the card, but take that very lightly, because it was still a good match. Hideo Itami, as I expected, ended up losing. Aleister Black hit the Black Mass on Hideo Itami for the 1-2-3. Aleister is still undefeated, and I think he will be undefeated for a while. I noticed with NXT, a lot of their characters, they really like to have undefeated streaks with them. You know, Asuka, Aleister Black, Shinsuke at one point until he got defeated, but they like to push them very far until they lose, which is a good thing. I like that. For the NXT tag titles, we have the Authors of Pain defending against Sanity. This match was so fucking good. It was like a car crash. It was so brutal. Nikki Cross got involved a lot. There was even a 6th spot where Nikki Cross took a bullet for Sanity. Killian Dane jumped literally like a crossbody on Nikki Cross, and I think it was Razor of Authors of Pain. It was just so fucking good. Sanity ended up winning here, and you know, I think the Authors of Pain are going to be called up very shortly. I can't really see anything more for them to do in NXT. I feel like they've exhausted all options, especially as a dominant heel team. So the best bet for them is to go to the main roster this week, hopefully. Up next, my match of the night, and quite honestly, one of the matches of the year in my opinion. We have Asuka defending her NXT Women's Championship against Ember Moon. Wow. Oh my goodness. You know, I will insert my reaction to this match, a couple seconds worth, because I did film it. And when Ember Moon hit the Eclipse to Asuka, I was completely shook when Asuka kicked out. I was wow. You know, I knew Ember was going to lose there because they've built Ember's finisher up for so long to be so dominant and so hard to kick out of. And quite honestly, it has been. And she's defeated everybody with the Eclipse. And for Asuka to kick out, Asuka was obviously winning that match. And I really am so happy that they listened. They listened to me. No, I'm kidding. But honestly, I'm really stoked that Asuka did not take the loss here because she is so good. And while Ember Moon is a good athlete, no taking anything away from her, she is good. But Asuka's on a whole different level. I personally think that Ember did not deserve to take the title from Asuka. She did not deserve to take the streak. But I think Ember's great, and I think she'll do okay on the main roster. I'm not saying she's going to be the best.
Record 504 days. Think about that. Does it?
Damn.
NXT TakeOver. Wait. We have a new NXT Women's Champion.
Yes!
What?
Yes! Asuka kicked out of the Eclipse! Yes!
Was able to nail Asuka with the
Thank you!
It's going to take moves like that to put off the way she's never lost. Oh my goodness.
Go! Match, oh my goodness. Honestly, like a 4.75 out of 5 stars. It was that good. Definitely a match of the year contender, in my opinion, of course. But if there's any match that you should go check out from NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, you should check out all of them. But if you only have time for 1 or 2, this is definitely one of the matches to check out. It was so fucking good. It was 15 minutes of pure awesomeness. And, you know, I'll be honest, I really wasn't a fan of Asuka. But lately, she's really been impressing me. She had an amazing showing here. You guys have to watch this match. She did defeat Ember Moon with the Asuka lock after 15 minutes. It was fucking amazing. Rolling into the main event, we have Bobby Roode defending the NXT title against Drew McIntyre. So I honestly thought that Bobby Roode was going to win here, but he actually didn't. I'm totally fine with Drew McIntyre winning. As you guys know, I love McIntyre. I have for 8 years, ever since he debuted in WWE. I always thought he had something special to him. He had the look, he had the build, he had the, you know, the skills, of course. But, you know, he really honed his skills when they released him in 2014. So for 2 years or 3 years, he really honed his skills in the indies, and he's really come back even stronger and better. So I understand why McIntyre won. I am happy about it, but McIntyre winning totally got overshadowed by the debut of Adam Cole. That was very epic to see. So we have Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish come out. They also showed up earlier in the night after the tag title match. And we see them standing there and we know something's going to happen. So we hear the Brooklyn crowd shouting and going crazy. Adam Cole runs in the ring and attacks McIntyre. Everybody's chanting, Adam Cole, baby. Like, it was so fucking epic. Like, I had to throw out my reaction to that because it was one of those things where we did not see that happening. We heard about it, but we didn't know if it was actually going to happen because normally what they do to new talent who sign, they show them in the front row just observing the match. And that's obviously cool. But actually seeing Adam Cole, you know, attacking Drew McIntyre and, you know, raising his arms with his friends Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, it definitely shows that this is gonna like be like a kind of ROH invasion style in NXT. I kind of like that storyline. It was definitely an ROH reunion, so that was awesome. Honestly, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 was definitely the best NXT show of the year. I'm going out on a limb and saying it was probably the best NXT TakeOver in the last 2 years. It was that good for me. Watching as a viewer at home, I was marking out a ton. I was amped. It was really amazing. And for me as a fan of wrestling, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to be totally invested, not bored, totally energetic into the show. And I'm a mark for false finishes. I loved it, especially Asuka Ember. There was a ton. I'm here for that. Get me hyped up, get me amped, get me think that you can beat Asuka with the Eclipse. You know, and it worked. I was amped up. This show was fucking amazing. On to day 2, SummerSlam. This is the show that I attended. It was so amazing. I will admit, A lot of the matches fell flat. However, there were some amazing gems in there, as I expected. But what really took the cake for me for this entire weekend was seeing my friends, of course. So I did hang out with Connor, aka OKFabe, on YouTube, and Heel Steven, and I will get into that after my review. I finally get into the arena. I missed the first pre-show match because they weren't really letting people in, so I finally get seated at 5:30. So I missed the Matt Hardy match, and I heard the Miz won though, which is fine, whatever. I finally get to see the first official match for me, and that was for the Cruiserweight title. It was Akira Tozawa defending against Neville. Neville wins, nothing more. Why the fuck are you having Neville lose the title on Raw and win it right back? I mean, did they sour on Akira Tozawa in 6 days? Like, I don't understand, like, what happened. It was just so crazy to me that they had Neville have such a long reign, have an amazing feud with Austin Aries, you know, still defeat Austin Aries with the rivalry they had, amazing matches, then lose to Akira Tozawa on Raw. What? That speaks volumes of how low they feel about that title, and it's sad. It really is. I'm just glad Neville did win, though. One of the better matches of the night was for the SmackDown tag titles. It was the Usos versus the New Day. So good! So good. There was a lot of false finishes here. It was really fucking cool to see everybody get amped up for the show, and I was definitely here for it. The Usos actually ended up winning, and that's pretty shocking because I'm not the biggest fan of like transitional title reigns and playing hot potato with the belt. I feel like it kind of devalues the belt, but I kind of prefer the Usos with the titles. I feel like the Usos are totally underrated as a team, and I was actually talking to Steven's friend Walter about this. They were sitting directly behind us at SummerSlam, and we were saying how like the Usos are very underrated, and they really are. I feel like they don't get enough credit, and they really put on amazing performances. So I was definitely here for the Usos winning, and I'm glad they did win because they're great. By the way, I quickly wanted to mention that Elias Samson came down to the ring, and he had 2 songs he performed, and he was over as fuck. I really hope that Vince was listening because I think that this is a testament to him getting a huge push. I really hope so, of course, as a huge Elias Samson fan. I really hope that this man gets pushed. He's got what it takes, and you have to be talented to play the guitar like that. Let's be real. He was so over. People were chanting like crazy for him. So I really hope, I'm crossing my fingers and crossing my T's that Vince McMahon listens to us for once and pushes Elias Samson because he is that good. He's got the look. He's got the really cool gimmick that's really hard to pull off, might I add. And he's over. So push him, please. So getting into the main card, we have Baron Corbin versus John Cena as the opener. So I really thought that Baron Corbin was going to obliterate John Cena. It was actually the opposite. Yes, Baron Corbin did get in a little offense, but it was nothing like what Cena did. Cena ends up beating Baron Corbin within probably 10 minutes. He does an AA. I thought Corbin was going to kick out, but he didn't. So what I've been hearing is that a lot of the higher ups have soured on Baron Corbin because they don't like his mouth backstage. They think he has, you know, an opinion about everything, and he fights with a lot of people on Twitter, mind you. And they don't really like that. So I heard he did get into an argument with Dave Meltzer, but he's also gotten into arguments with a lot of other people, writers, higher-ups in general. So they are, you know, completely shunning Corbin now. And, you know, it just sucks because he did have the talent. Yes, he was green, but he could have developed over time, and I thought that's what they were doing with him. But unfortunately, I think Corbin is done. It sucks, though, because I really am a Corbin fan, and, you know, he's getting the Rusev treatment, and it's fucking heartbreaking. I love Corbin, and I'll always love Corbin no matter what. So the second match of SummerSlam is for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. This is actually one of my favorite matches of the night, and a match that will always stick out to me. We have Naomi defending against Natalya. This match was so good. Really, really, really good. Naomi actually takes the loss here. I'm okay with this. You know, Natalya has been around over 10 years in the company, and she hasn't won the title since I think 2008. You know, deserved, if you look up the word deserved in the dictionary, it's got Natalya's photo on it, because she has paid her dues. She is Vince's vet. He trusts her to wrestle with any new girl coming up to train them. She definitely deserves this. I can't think of a more deserving female on that roster right now than Natalya. So I'm fine with it. And to be honest, the Brooklyn crowd popped like crazy when she won. So I'm glad she did win. Even though I was rooting for Naomi, I could respect it. I am glad for Natalya. Congratulations, Natalya. It was a really good match. I suggest you guys go out and watch it. It was really fun. Up next is the dud of the night. We have Big Cass versus Big Show with Enzo in the Shark Cage. This match honestly should have been subjected to Raw. I do not know why they put this on the pay-per-view. Yeah, maybe it was to kill time, but it was so bad. It was so bad. The crowd was not into it. People were chanting, "This is boring, this sucks, end this now." And honestly, it was justified because the match was so fucking bad. It was putting my friends and I to sleep, you know? And I just don't know why they would put this on the card. I don't know what we did as a Brooklyn crowd to deserve such a horrible match, but Big Cass ultimately gets the victory. Snooze fest. So after that, we have Randy Orton versus Rusev. Rusev doesn't get an entrance. He attacks Orton from behind, and once the match officially starts, he goes for a big splash in the corner. Orton ducks out of the way, hits an RKO, and ends. I'm a huge Rusev mark. This kills me. I genuinely think it's best for Rusev to ask for his release, and honestly, with every ounce of my being, it kills me to say that. But for a talent such as Rusev, someone who's so good and so underrated in the ring, to lose in literally 30 seconds when the match could have been at least 15 to 20 minutes, it is embarrassing. It's shocking. I don't know who Rusev pissed off, but Rusev is so much better than this and deserves so much better than this. And I can't sit back and just, sit on the sidelines and not say anything. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. There's favoritism definitely happening in the locker room, and I think it's unfair. It really is. So Rusev deserves better. I feel like he would kill it on the indies, kind of like what Cody's doing. A lot of people are supporting him, and a lot of people were pissed that he lost in the fashion that he did last night. It was totally uncalled for. So after that, we have the Raw Women's Championship. We have Alexa Bliss defending against Sasha Banks. Now, this was another solid match. I was so upset that Alexa took the loss, but I wasn't necessarily surprised because I feel like they're going the Bayley-Sasha route, I guess, with Sasha holding the title now. But Alexa was so over. And, Sasha was over too, but I feel like Sasha had some boos more than I thought. I was a little surprised in a sense because I know Alexa's merch line does amazing. And I know Vince really loves that. Vince is obsessed with Alexa. So I really thought Alexa was going to win here, but she didn't. Sasha Banks is a 4-time women's champion, and we'll see what happens. The next match, we have Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. Now, this match was decent for what it was, but I want to talk about Finn Balor's entrance. To see the demon entrance, it was so good. And I was seated in a way where you could see everything. There was no obstructed views. It was clear cut, like boom, right there. And it was so fucking lit to see live. It's an amazing character, I'll say that. I'm not really a fan of Balor per se, but the character itself, the atmosphere, the intriguing entrance, it just keeps people captivated. And all eyes were on him for that entrance. And it was just so sick to see live. And Finn Balor did ultimately defeat Wyatt, as I thought he would, because they're not going to have, the Demon King lose as the Demon King. So, of course, Finn Balor did pick up the victory here. Next match is actually my personal match of the night. We have, for the tag titles, for the Raw tag titles, we have Cesaro and Sheamus defending against Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Oh my goodness, that match of the year contender, hands down. If there's any match to go witness from last night's show, it is that match. It was so effing incredible. Like, watching it live, the crowd was totally into it. Everybody was obsessed with it. Whoever won, they didn't care. It was a fucking amazing match. There was actually one specific spot that I feel is worth mentioning. Cesaro runs into the crowd and literally rips up a beach ball that people were tossing around the arena. It was so funny. Everybody was tossing it around for like 5 minutes. And Cesaro definitely did that to garner a lot of cheap heel heat, and he rightfully did get that, and it was hilarious. It was fucking amazing. It just is a testament to how fucking awesome Cesaro is, and that was an amazing match. I am super stoked to see Rollins and Ambrose reuniting. I genuinely think that Rollins and Ambrose will have a super long title reign as the Raw Tag Champs, and rightfully so, because they weren't doing anything on their own, so why not merge them together? Take nothing away from Sheamus and Cesaro. They put on a fantastic outing. I did hear that Sheamus is going to film a movie soon, so that is why Cesaro and Sheamus lost. I'm praying that Cesaro does not get lost in the shuffle. I would love for him to win like the IC championship or something, just because he needs to do something. I don't want him to, you know, get lost. He needs to be in the forefront because he is that damn good. Up next, we have another incredible match. We have AJ Styles defending the US title against Kevin Owens with Shane McMahon as the guest ref. This match was so fucking good. I feel like this is the last of their encounters, though. AJ Styles did ultimately win in an amazing 20-minute match. The crowd was pumped for it. It was so fucking good. Of course, you know, Kevin Owens and AJ Styles always have amazing chemistry together. Kevin Owens specifically did an amazing Fisherman Buster from the top rope. It was so good. I love that move. I just don't understand why it's not a finisher, because it is definitely a credible finisher, more than credible. Like, I honestly thought he was going to put Styles away, but he didn't. It was so fucking good. If you guys know what move I'm talking about, it's that top rope Fisherman Buster. So good. It was a great match. Up next, we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal for the SmackDown Live title. Jinder won. Oh my goodness. I honestly thought that, well, okay, so going in, I actually thought Jinder was going to retain, and I said that in my prediction video because of the Indian tour. But after talking to a lot of my friends yesterday, everybody was like, no, 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 no. Like, Jinder's souring. They're souring on Jinder. You know, they're over Jinder. They're not going to have Shinsuke lose as quickly. And I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. You know, because I heard a lot of people were souring on Jinder, including the higher ups in the company. And they threw us a curveball. Jinder is still the champion. I'm shocked, honestly, in a way. But, you know, it's all about money with the company, and it's a business first and foremost. That's how they market themselves. So it does make sense to have, you know, the Indian tour in a few weeks and to have Jinder, you know, walk in as champion. It's going to gain a lot of, you know, traction. People are going to want to view it and go to the show and buy the merchandise. You know, it does make sense. So I get that. I don't agree with it at all. I definitely think Nakamura should have won the title last night, but he didn't. So last but not least, for the Universal title, it was definitely one of my favorite matches of the night. Probably my second favorite match of the night. Brock Lesnar defending the Universal title against Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, and Roman Reigns in a fatal four-way. A little interesting tidbit though, I was actually seated in a way where I saw everything, even kind of like to the side of the ramp, behind the Raw announce table, and I noticed that Stephanie McMahon came out and was with Sable towards the end of the match, and they were watching it, so that was interesting to see. And also, I forgot to mention, during Jinder Mahal's entrance, Triple H was near the side of the ramp watching it firsthand. I guess kind of wanting to see what a reaction he would get. And he saw for himself firsthand that Jinder got a real negative reaction. So I kind of think that Jinder is going to lose sooner than later. Maybe in a month or so. Sorry, I'm segueing off topic. So with the Fatal 4-Way, it was a complete devastating car crash, as I expected. A lot of destruction. Strowman was definitely the MVP of this match. He had a lot of amazing spots, you know, putting Lesnar through 3 tables. It was fucking amazing to see that live. He was very over. The crowd was into Strowman like no other. I honestly was going into the match saying Strowman was going to win. I know Luigi and I were talking about this, and we both wanted Strowman to win. I really, really love Strowman. I think he's so fucking cool. He's so over, and he's good for a guy his stature. you know, Reigns teased winning, but he did not win. Reigns actually took the pinfall here, which was really surprising to see. It was a fucking great match. I mean, so much went on. It was destruction. It was a complete car crash, but you could not take your eyes off of it. That's how addictive that match was. And it was a much better SummerSlam than last year, in my opinion, at least. Of course, I watched it live, so I mean, you get the atmosphere, everybody's energetic, and it's so cool to be around, you know, 15 to 20,000 people all going crazy. So I mean, I guess I'm a little biased here, but I would rate the show, you know, a solid 8 out of 10, to be honest with you. It was really good. So for me, was SummerSlam worth it? Absolutely. I had a blast, even though, you know, some matches were not good. That's to be expected at a wrestling event. We're not going to love every single match, and that's totally okay. I had an amazing time at SummerSlam, and what made it even more enjoyable and amazing and memorable was spending time with my friends, of course. Okay, Fabe, Heel Steven, Steven's friend Walter, Connor's friends from Dadass Podcast, and just other people who I've met along the way that, you know, came to hang out with me, and people were asking me for an autograph, and I was like, what? Is this really happening? Like, is this my life? I took pictures with various people. I do feel that this is incredibly important to mention. After SummerSlam ended, everybody was leaving the Barclays Center. A lot of people, you know, big YouTubers were outside taking photos with people, and I was actually hanging out with friends and taking pictures, and I was actually going to the merch truck to buy a couple shirts, in which I'll show you in a minute. I saw Lugie, and she was, you know, being bombarded by tons of fans asking for photos, and rightfully so. She's a fucking legend in the wrestling community, I get it. But she actually noticed me. She noticed me. And I was like, oh my gosh. So she's like, hey, how did you like the show? And we're just talking for like a minute. And I was like, I want a Strowman to win. She's like, I want a Strowman to win too. And she's like, can I get a picture with you? And I was like, of course. I just wanted to say, like, that was the most humbling, flattering. I'm honored. That was such a flattering experience for me. I'm still like kind of obviously taken back and shocked by that. She is someone who I have nothing but respect for, and I told her that yesterday, how, you know, she's a freaking legend. She is. And I really look up to Lugie. Before I started my channel, I always followed her because I really respected that, you know, 1, she's a female, 2, she knows what she's talking about, and 3, she's not taking off her clothes or having her boobs out to get views. That is something that I strongly stand by. I have very strong morals, and I feel like as a female who knows wrestling, I'm not going to have my tits out in videos just to garner views like some other people on YouTube that are in, you know, the YouTube wrestling community do. I just can't get behind that, and it's not something that I pride myself on. Lugie is just someone who is so humble, and the fact that she knew my name, little old me, I was so starstruck. Like, you know, a few months ago, I was thinking, is this even the right thing for me to do? Should I continue doing YouTube? But last night really cemented that fact that I need to come back even harder. You know, post a lot more videos, keep going hard, because I have a solid, strong, diehard fan base, and I love you guys more than anything in the world. And for someone of her magnitude to know who I am and to support my channel and to give me advice, like, thank you so much. It means so much to me, and I love you so much, Lugie. It's an honor to have met you. You're one of my idols, definitely. Nothing but love for you and respect for you. So it wouldn't be in a true wrestling fashion to attend a show and not buy some merch. Come on. It's all encapsulating with the experience. So I get a lot of questions on my outfit. I was wearing the iconic duo shirt. Now, a lot of people were tweeting me asking me where I got it because WWE Shop is not selling this. Yes, I agree. It sucks that they're not. They need to jump on this. So I actually bought my iconic shirt on redbubble.com for $30 because I knew that, you know, WWE wasn't giving these girls shirts. Like, they were asking for so long, and if they didn't buy now, when were they? Maybe on the main roster, but I didn't want to wait. So I had to jump on there and get the shirt and rep it for SummerSlam. A lot of people loved it. And for the official purchases, I will show you guys. We have our nifty little WWE bag, which Duh, love. So, first shirt I got. Twisted Bliss, of course. I have to rep my girl Alexa Bliss. This is on the back. I love her so much. You know me. I'm all for my heels. I love my heels. And for the last shirt that I purchased, I also purchased the Baron Corbin wolf shirt. And it says End of Days on the back. It's a really sick shirt. I love it so much. So all in all, I had an incredible time. I will never forget all these memories that I made with my friends, and it was just amazing. I cannot wait to see my wrestling friends sooner than later. You know, I love my wrestling friends more than local friends. Sorry, not sorry. But I just feel like wrestling people, we just get each other better. You know, we mingle better. Wrestling is our life, you know, so I just have a soft spot for my wrestling friends, and I love them so much. And I will definitely insert some photos here, and please subscribe. Love you guys so much.